Let me introduce you to my little friend right here. This is Weebill-S, small, lightweight, but also really powerful gimbal, and he also likes to be called a tiny giant. Hey guys, it's Nemanja and welcome to another really fun episode. As you already know, today we will be talking about this awesome gimbal right here. It's a Gimbal Weebill-S, new iteration of Gimbal Weebill series. Previous was Weebill Lab, really successful one, but this one is even better. First of all, it's small and lightweight, which is really important, especially if you travel with a gimbal. You don't want to bring your heavy equipment with you. You want to travel as lightweight as possible. And another thing why it's even better than the previous one is it has a little bit bigger motors, but 3 times stronger, 3 times more powerful motors. So that means that you can put bigger cameras with heavier lenses. But before I start talking about all the specs of this awesome gimbal and show you some examples, let me first show you what's in the box. This is the main box, and inside this box we have another box, and inside this one we have all of this. On the right side we have the gimbal itself, then we have a small tripod, which is not so small at all. Then we have the box with all the necessary cables to charge the batteries, to connect your camera with the gimbal, etc. All the cables are inside, right? Then we have battery charger with a USB Type-C port, right? Then we have a mounting plate, which is a combination of Manfrotto and Arc Swiss. So it's really cool, and also this is really cool because you can mount this on the gimbal, and then if you want to just take off the camera, really simple, without messing the balance, you just press this, take off the camera is connected to this, and then really easily bring it back. Also you have a security screw here, so you cannot suddenly press this and pop out the camera. So that's cool. And we have another mounting plate if you want to mount this on this and have a lift your camera a little bit if you have like a bigger lenses. So that's really cool addition. All right, now let's talk about the build quality. This gimbal is made out of the combination of metal and plastic. The upper part, the axis and the motors are made out of the metal, which is really awesome, and the lower part, the handle, the battery holder, are made out of the plastic. The plastic looks and feels really nice and sturdy, but to be honest, it doesn't feel like super premium quality plastic, but it's still really good. And we have the tripod. The tripod is made out of the metal, which is awesome, and it has a rubberized grip to be more comfortable when you're holding it. So the tripod goes right here at the bottom, and then you have a double hand grip, which is awesome. And one thing that doesn't come inside this standard kit, which I have got a gimbal with, is this quick release mounting plate for the tripod. It's really easy and convenient. You just pull this down, release the tripod, and if you want to put it here for underslung mode, you just put it like this, super easy, super quick, and then you can go with the gimbal in underslung mode. I will show you that later. So really easy, just release it, put it down, and clip it here. That's it. So if you're using a Weebill Lab or Weebill-S, this is something that you must have. I really recommend this quick mounting plates, or however they called. Actually, I have it here. This is called Transmount Quick Setup Kit. So it's small, and it will make your life much easier. Otherwise, you need to unscrew the tripod and then screw it back right here, and it's time consuming. This is like, you know, a few seconds, and you have actually maybe just 1 second you have it in underslung mode. As I already said, this gimbal has a 3 times stronger motor than a previous iteration, Weebill Lab. So that means that you can put even heavier setup on this gimbal. And I even tried a Canon 5D Mark IV with 24-70 lens, and with all the way to 70mm zoom out, or actually zoom in, the gimbal really nicely handled the camera and all the movements. The battery life is really awesome. You can film with this gimbal all day. Practically the maximum battery life is 14 hours. And to charge the gimbal, to charge the batteries actually from 0 to 100%, it takes only 2.5 hours. This gimbal also has a locking mechanism to all 3 axes, which is really cool thing to have because balancing this gimbal is even more fun and easy and faster to be done than without those locking mechanisms. So now I will balance my camera. I will use Fuji X-T3 with 80 to 55mm lens. But for testing this gimbal, I use Fuji X-T3, I use Sony A7 III and also Canon 5D Mark IV. So I use several different cameras to test the stability and the functionality of this gimbal. So let's mount first this camera on the gimbal. It's really easy to balance the camera on the gimbal because we have those locking mechanisms. So first I will unlock this axis, move it here and lock it back into this position. Then I will unlock this one and I will leave it unlocked because I want to balance it first. So just slide the camera. Right, now that we balance this axis, and you know that it's balanced because however you put your camera, it will stay in that position. I will lock it back, so lock this one and I cannot move it, and then unlock this one. So now I need to balance this axis right here. As you can see, this is it, really quick, easy and fast. So that's cool. However I position my camera, it will stay in that position, perfectly balanced. And then we have another axis right here. So I will unlock this and see how this is balanced. So this is pretty balanced. And let's turn on the gimbal. Now we will turn the gimbal on, and to turn it on you have on-off button on the side. You just need to press and hold it for a few seconds and the gimbal will turn on and bring the camera into default position. And one really cool feature on this Weebill-S that Weebill Lab didn't have it or does not have it is auto tune option, which is awesome because you don't need to tune in manually the strength of the motors. You can just go into the settings, motor and auto, and just press it and the gimbal will auto tune the motor strengths according to the camera and lens weight. So this is awesome. It takes only a few seconds and it's almost done. It's done. So that's it, just a few seconds. And now you can go and use the gimbal with the proper motor setup. So now let me walk through to some modes that this gimbal has. So first we have a PF or pan follow mode. That means that the camera will follow your movement left and right, but it will not follow movement up and down. So this is really cool mode. If you want to go into the follow mode, so to have all the movements up, down, left, right followed, you just need to press and hold the front trigger. But with this Weebill-S, there is another cool thing that you don't need to press and hold like in previous Weebill Lab. You can now adjust in the settings. You have two options, press and hold, or just click once, press once, and you will go to follow mode. And that's my favorite because I don't need now to hold my finger on the trigger. I can have my follow mode just like that. To go out of the follow mode, I can just press once the function button on the side, and then I'm not anymore in the follow mode. I am again in pan follow mode. Right, the next mode is point of view. You just press the point of view button, and that means that it will be same like follow mode. So it will follow up, down, left, right movements, but also it will follow these tilting movements. And this is really awesome because you can be really creative with this, have some really nice and cool camera movements, but also stable in the same time, nice, really flow, cool movements. Then if we double press the point of view button, we will go into vertex mode or inception mode or however you want to call it. And this is really cool because now you can have those really cool, awesome inception mode. A lot of people like it. I don't use this too much, but it is here. In case you need it, you have it. To go out of this mode, just once press point of view button and here it is. Then we have another mode, it's called the locked mode. And you have a switch on the left side of the gimbal where you're quickly going from pan follow to lock mode. And lock mode means that now, however you move the gimbal, the camera will stay in that lock position. That's really awesome in certain situations. And also if you double press the trigger, the camera will go back to default position. So that's really cool. If you triple press the point of view button, you will go, just a second, to a selfie mode. So just triple press it, you're in selfie mode, double press triple press the same button or the front trigger button, you will go back to default position. So you have two options, point of view or the trigger, triple press, and here it is, selfie mode. And who don't like to do selfies. But actually this is really cool if you're vlogging and walking and you want a really nice, stable, smooth footage. This is a perfect mode for that. We have another cool thing because we have a lot of buttons here on the handle and joystick, etc. We just need to double tap on the LV option right here and we will lock everything here, so there is no possibility to suddenly press a button or move the joystick. Everything is locked, so we can operate this gimbal without worrying about that. Also, let me show you the underslung mode. Underslung mode is really cool because you're just putting your tripod right here and this is it. So you can operate the gimbal from a lower position without needing to tilt the gimbal all the way up and holding it on this handle. So this is really cool, like suitcase or underslung mode. Really nice, convenient and easy to operate the gimbal like this. Also, there is another cool mode. It's called the sport mode or go mode. And as you can see now, if I'm moving the gimbal, the camera will not be so responsive. But if I press and hold the function button on the side, press and hold, you can see we are now in sport mode and the camera movement, it's much faster and responsive in case you need to film some fast movements on sport or whatever. Again, we have double function on this button. We can press and hold it to go in sport mode or just click it and be in a sport mode. So that's cool to choose between all those settings. Another awesome thing with this gimbal that I really like is that now we don't need to pair the gimbal with a smartphone to be able to change all the settings from the smartphone app, like motor strength or a deadband or axis response or whatever. We can all do here inside the gimbal. We have all the options there, so if you're in a field, you don't need to take out a phone and pair it with the gimbal. You can just quickly change whatever you need from the gimbal itself. Really cool thing. But in case you want to pair your mobile phone with the gimbal, you have really nice app right here and you can control the gimbal with the joystick on the phone, completely all the functions. You can also start and stop recording. If you connect your camera with the gimbal, now it's supported Nikon, Canon, Panasonic and Sony cameras. And also there is another cool function right here, so let me show you that. Let's just bring this back to neutral position, right? This function is sync motion. So now we can sync our motion and we can use this as a remote control. See, it's really responsive, but also what is really cool, we can change the response of the axis. So actually the speed of the axis. So this can be really response left, right, but up, down, it's not so responsive. Also, I can make the left, right not so responsive. Also, we have a tilt. So I can go with a tilt, so actually roll axis. Now if I'm tilting the mobile phone, I'm tilting the gimbal too. So all things we can do with this guy. Let's move it all around. So this is another cool possibility in case you want to control the position of the gimbal. We have max speed mode and smoothness mode. So this is more smooth mode and you can do like this. So just another thing that you can do with your phone, and sometimes that can be really nice and convenient, especially if you're putting your gimbal on a longer tripod, actually monopod or whatever, some pole, and you have a mobile phone and you want to control some movements from the higher position. Another cool thing. Also guys, there is a transmission module made for this gimbal. I don't have it with me in this package, in this standard kit, but you can purchase separately and it's there for transmitting your signal from your camera to your mobile phone, to external monitor, whatever that has HDMI input. So this is awesome and you can use it with the gimbal or you can use it just separately to transmit any single signal from any camera to any viewing device like monitor, phone, etc. And also what you can purchase separately is the follow focus and zoom motors, so you can use this wheel on the side of the gimbal to zoom your lens or to follow the focus, to change the focus with this wheel right here on the side. Till this point of time, this is my favorite gimbal, this is my go-to gimbal and I will continue to use it as my everyday equipment. And that's basically it. If you have any questions regarding to this episode, leave me down there in the comment section below. I will be glad to answer it. I didn't mention the price. The price is $439 US, which is awesome for everything that this gimbal can do. And this is just this standard kit. You can purchase separately the transmission model if you want to transmit your signal to other monitor, external monitor or whatever. Also those motors, follow focus and zoom motors, you can purchase separately and add it to the price. Everything that you need to know more about it and the prices, etc. You can follow the link down there in the description, go to their website and check everything out. Right guys, that's it. If you like this episode, if you appreciate this content, just press the like button down below, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe in case you're not already, and also ring that bell to get notified about all the future episodes. Have fun, experiment, and see you guys in my next fun episode. Bye bye.